we got them boys going fishing real early, boy. They said Dak Prescott's sleep bed number was higher than his quarterback rating last game.
It
And
sure the hell was.
You know there was they were saying that there's only three $40 million a year quarterbacks. Two of them threw for 5 touches, and one was Dak.
Mm.
Well, he threw one and ran one.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Two of them had outstanding performances, and then there was Dak.
For what it's worth, it was what it wasn't a blowout. They had a chance. They had a chance to win the game.
It should have been.
Listen, thank you. Because either one of those
failure to score touchdowns in the red zone, and Jimmy G's inability to know who he plays for at any given time.
Man, that's the worst.
Because he'll throw the ball to anybody open.
If they lose next round, he's going to be the reason. He's going to be the reason. He's going to be the reason they lose. He was almost the reason that Dallas had a drive at the last second to begin with. Just the inability to, I don't know whether it's him and the Shanahan, because Shanahan is a good play caller, at least until crunch time. As you can see from my Falcons background, Jimmy G is just, both of those teams last night looked like teams that, man, I don't even know if I should be here. I'm just making an appearance, and I didn't expect that from the Cowboys offense. I thought they would look better.
I expected it from the offense.
You expected what from the offense?
A dud.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. I knew that Diggs was gonna have a long night.
Yeah, he is a sucker for double moves. He got to clean that up in the offseason.
They don't even have to get double moves.
No, he is a sucker for double moves because he is so hungry for a pick.
He a ball hawk.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk, and it's okay to play corner like that if you got a safety over your head. Richard Sherman used to get away with that shit all the time because Earl Thomas was over his head. Ain't no Earl Thomas on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
you're right. This is true.
but I always go back to this, Corey. How come you saying all this in hindsight? That's not what you were saying.
That's not. But no, what I'm saying is, of course I'm gonna pick my team. That's. I mean, come on, I'm not stupid. But I also know that the Cowboys have a ridiculous offensive line. It is terrible at best. You have a center that is consistently, man, had like a redhead stepchild. Consistently, and that's terrible because that's the quickest way to the quarterback is right up the middle. You have a left tackle that is the most penalized player in the NFL, and Connor Williams. You have a right tackle that's good. He is a good player. He once was a great player. He is a good player now. And then you have a left tackle that is, I'm not even going to say he's old. He's just beat up. He's never on the field. He's never healthy. The dude where I'm listening to you.
Like, we was talking about the Cowboys as, okay, we just did in the beginning of the season. We was talking about how we didn't know what Dan Quinn was going to be able to do with the defense, considering how he came to Atlanta. The one thing that we were almost positive about was the O-line. Like, okay, I don't know how Zeke going to look. Let's hope Dak looks good. The O-line is what y'all had. Like, what happened? I'm not watching every week. So what happened?
It's not.
Look. Can I say this though?
Go ahead, man.
Playoffs. It's the playoffs, and 49ers got a good defense, and they got Bosa on the other end. That's terrorizing cats. So we can't get mad that the O line gave up some pressures and stuff like that.
No,
right? However,
they gave up 5 sacks.
Yeah,
okay, they did. That's a lot. And I don't think they got the Jimmy G more than once. I don't think, but
they got to him once.
But listen, they almost had 2 100-yard rushes, and one of them was a receiver. So
I mean, listen, Debo does that to everybody. Don't count him as a regular wide receiver. That dude is not a regular wide receiver. That dude is a football player. That is what he is.
You're absolutely right. He's a football player. He had about 78 yards rushing, I think. And the starting running back for San Francisco, I can't remember if it was Mitchell or
Mitchell had 96.
Right. So they both almost had
170 total between the two of them.
Right.
Yeah. Which is something you can live with, because the 49ers, that's what they're gonna do. It don't matter. They are going to run the ball.
You can't live with that though.
Listen. The one thing that I said that the Cowboys had no answer for was George Kittle, and that's the one thing that they had an answer for yesterday.
Yeah,
the one thing.
Yeah, so that means your analysis was off again, and mine was on.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't mean yours was on. The 49ers run the ball on everybody. They haven't. Nobody shut down. For you to make I said they was gonna run. I just said they didn't have an answer for Kittle because play action.
Why didn't I load up that daggone sound?
Load it. I'm telling you, the 49ers are going to run on everybody. That's what they're going to do. They didn't run for 300 like Cleveland did last year.
I agree.
They rushed for 178. I'm cool with that.
What you said. This wasn't what
Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 174 yards. I'm cool. Listen, if you give that up, if you give up 300 yards of total offense, that's not terrible. And 23 points, you can't tell me that I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is 14 dumbass penalties.
Okay.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with a 6 of 13 ratio, 6 of 13 third down ratio, right, for the 49ers. But that doesn't account for the 4 penalties that the Cowboys had on third downs that gave them first downs. So that goes to a 10 for 13, which is also an NFL record. That is stupid. That is stupid, undisciplined football.
Hey, your offense got to put up more than 17 points in the playoffs at home.
Agreed. But you can't have game-killing penalties, drive-killing penalties.
That's true.
You cannot.
I think that
you can't do it.
I think if Dallas they only had 77 rushing yards. I think the way that you kind of, because the San Francisco came out pretty hot.
They came out tough. They came out tough.
They came out tough. I think to neutralize that and to kind of help that get into a better rhythm, because y'all only completed less than 60% of y'all passes.
It was like 54%.
Yeah, and then only had 77 yards rushing.
Because they took away the stupid shit that the Cowboys do, which is that little 2-yard out to Dalton Schultz. They took that away. For the life of me, I do not understand when you have a team that's blitz heavy like the 49ers. Why would you not install a wide receiver screen or a tight end screen or a halfback screen? Why would you not instill that in your game plan? The Cowboys ran not one screen play yesterday at all. Not one. Like, okay, you have a week to prepare for this shit.
But who do you like? Who was it? Just a failure on all parts, or is it?
It's fair. That was a total 100% failure, Zoe, on everybody.
Yeah, but listen, you entitled to come out and not be your best self, right? However, if you know a team is gonna come down here and run it down your throat, right? And then they come down here and do it in the playoffs. You supposed to be a playoff squad going against a playoff squad. To me, that's kind of unacceptable, man. So the mistakes they made, got it. That's undisciplined football. The fact that they couldn't run the ball and then they couldn't stop the run is what I'm pointing to the most. I'm like, man, how? Like, if you could have played better defense, maybe they didn't score so many points. And then by the time you got your offense going,
Melvin, if you just get off the field on third down and give the offense the ball back, you cannot let a team go 10 for 13 on third down and think you're gonna win.
Yeah, that's
period.
It would be.
You can't do that.
10 for 17.
But still,
you can't do it. 10 for 17 is still fantastic. I'll take that shit all day.
Absolutely.
Over 50%. That means more than likely you're going to.
You're not gonna win.
Better
I
than
don't give a
coin
damn.
flip.
Listen, and there is so much. Listen, there was so much stupid shit yesterday that put them in position, like where they had positions to win, like that stupid ass play where they put the punter in as the slot receiver.
What was that?
Who does that?
What was that? What was that?
And then they do this whole thing because Arizona did it to them and they fell for it. So they tried to do it to San Francisco, and San Francisco was like, "Do y'all think we're fucking stupid?" You know what I'm saying? And then they come, so then they do this big ass shift, right? And that's on 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
Then that backs them up to 3rd and 7, and then they get a false start penalty that puts them at 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
3rd and 12. Who does this?
Yeah, he make a good point, man. You come out in the playoffs and you bat on both sides of the ball, and not just both sides, special teams too.
Yeah,
special teams too.
It was
like, man, there was so, man, it looked like a group of players that did not have a plan. Like, we just gonna go out here and wing it. It's like you running plays in the playground, and like, I got this dude that I know can get open, right? And they take that dude away, right? It's because he just keeps running 9. So they start sending the safeties back. Well, why ain't he open no more? Run a damn slant. They didn't even throw a slant yesterday.
Do something.
You know what I'm saying? If you're running, like, it's like on that last play where Dak lobbed the ball up to Cedric Wilson and he tripped over his own feet and didn't make the catch, right? Why should he even be in that position? It is a 0 blitz, no coverage. That's all man, right? Why would you not have a slant call to Amari Cooper?
At least one. That's true. Especially
why? Why not? Why not have something? You see this blitz is coming. Why would you not have? You can run everybody else on 9s just in case it's not a blitz, right? Just in case they back off in the coverage and they cover that slant, right? Then we'll improvise after that. Why would you call 9s for everybody? That makes no sense.
That's crazy.
Well, Corey, during the regular season, wasn't the way they was play calling, wasn't this stuff working?
No, it was totally different because they had plays. They were running screens at the beginning of the season. They were running quick slants. I don't know where this new offense came from. I have no idea.
You know what I think it was? They maybe tried to come to the playoffs, and because everybody's looking at film. You got a whole week to prepare for it, and maybe came out and said, "Okay, we're gonna do some things that they hadn't seen us do before," and they weren't even good at it.
Cash tripping me out talking all this shit, and the Saints didn't even make the playoffs. I'm not even entertaining that. But go ahead.
What do you say?
Him and Floyd have been talking. The Eagles got blown out yesterday. Like, what even gives you the opportunity to talk? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so confused by that. Get a horse in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody in the fight. Then we can talk about it. You're not even in the fight. Yeah, you're not even in the fight.
They was. Y'all went home the same week. Y'all went to y'all both
and I'm cool with that. I mean, at least we fought a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Eagles didn't even fight. They just said, "Fuck, we beat. Fuck it. Kick off."
I did not.
We just gonna come out here and have fun. I did.
Hey, I know
did you see how the Cowboys beat them?
Yeah.
Chris, what's up?
Man, listen. So,
Chris, I saw what you said earlier too. What you posted, and we can talk about it too, about the fish eating. We can talk about that.
Listen, so that's what. Okay, so Dallas, I watched the game because I really had a ill will against San Francisco. I wanted Dallas to get back. So I'm watching the game, and yes, there was some bad play calling. The O-line was bad. There was a lot of hesitancy from Dak when letting that ball go, which contributed to a lot of those sacks. The little jittery pump fakes. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just you go through your progressions, you see nobody's there, get rid of the ball. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of issues that Dallas had.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's killing me, and nobody is really talking about it, is how bad the officiating crew was. There's two plays in my head that living rent free, and it was I can give you.
I think
it was the fake punt, It was right after the fake punt, and it was one of those plays. But the referee was standing on the ball and caused the delay of game.
Yes. So he held the official.
That's funny.
The Cowboys run up to the line of scrimmage on first down. They run up to the line of scrimmage. That gets everybody says so it's called out as progression. Umpire has to touch the ball, right? He has to touch the ball. He touches the ball, and then he goes behind the center and stands there and holds his hand out to Dak. The play clock goes down to 10. Dak is looking at the official clapping his hand.
3.
Right. Dak is looking at the official telling him to move out of the way. He looks at Dak and says, relax. Relax. Yeah. And Dak is pointing at the play clock like this. The play clock goes down to 3. He looks up at the play clock, backs away. Dak don't get the snap off in time, and he calls, and they call a delay of game.
The same
they call delay.
I lost my shit when I saw that because I'm like, because I know sometimes the ref, they got to stand there to allow for substitution. But nobody on San Francisco's side moved. Nobody got off the field. So what are you standing there for? There's no substitution. Dallas is set. San Francisco ain't going nowhere. Get out the way. And that kind of it messed up a lot because then right after that, I think there was another penalty that got sent them back a little bit further. So it was
on the same
first and 10.
Drive.
It was first and 15, and it was like first and 25 or
20.
something like that.
Yeah.
It just went from bad to worse. And I was like, yo, does nobody see this? And then that very same ref, right? So when Dak decided to do that dumbass QB draw, right? If you in a hurry up, right? I know that the ref has to touch the ball and then, you know what I'm saying, whatever, right? But if you're the ref that has to touch the ball, why are you 35 yards behind the play?
Yeah. And didn't I say that? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, hey man, that referee officiating is 35 on Madden.
I will combat this to say this just because I understand stupid ass rules about football. At the 2-minute warning, if there's a 2-minute warning in games, there's no 2-minute warning in high school, there's no 2-minute warning in college, so it's only in the NFL, right? At the 2-minute warning, the umpire shifts to the defensive side of the ball. He shifts to the defensive side of the ball at the 2-minute warning, strictly to place the ball, just in case a situation like that occurs, where offense is hurrying, so he can place the ball faster. Because it's not like college where you get a first down, the clock doesn't start until the ball is hit.
Yeah, until they move the chains.
So he's there. He didn't shift.
No, Corey. He ran from 35 yards behind Dallas.
No,
I know that. I know that.
I know that. He sent
I know that. I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
So all that stuff was questionable. I think I even seen a couple of holding calls.
So listen, I posted on. I posted.
Thank you. Because the first touchdown that San Francisco scored,
Brandon Ayuk tackled Ayuk tackled Micah Parsons. Tackled him.
Man, they said officiating crew will not referee no more than playoffs.
Yes, they did say that the San Francisco Dallas officials won't official in the playoffs anymore as well. They said that today.
Really?
Yes.
So why is this becoming a thing? Why is this? If you
because they get bonuses. You know what I'm saying? It's extra money for them. So if you show up and don't do good, it's more guys waiting. So.
Yeah. So this
is all coming out after the fact. After these calls very well could have changed the game because I feel like we all know football is definitely a momentum sport. If you got the momentum, you got things happening on offense, defense, special teams, everything is starting to go your way, right? If it's a fairly fair game to a certain point where anybody could take it, you know what I'm saying? But then here comes a bad call or two. Like, for instance, I'll take it back to NFC Championship, Rams versus Saints.